What is happening, folks? I hope you're having a great day wherever you are at. This is Jimmy G in the place to be, bringing you back to another episode of The Good, the Bad, the Awesome, where we unbox, give my first reaction to all things pop culture. So if you like that stuff, hit that like and subscribe button and get notified when we have new videos. Also, huge shout out to all of my members. Thank you for being a friend. Or more than a friend. You got what I need. You say, no, anyway. But today, what we're going to do is we're going to finish out our Bandai Ultimates Legend series with the last of the Phase 2 figures that came out. So we did a review on Tengen. We did a review on Rengoku. So finally, we are going to do a review on Nezuko. And we're going to see if Nezuko-chan is an amazing figure. Should you pass it up? Should you get it? Should you get the McFarlane one? What should you do? Let's find out if this $16.99 figure is worth it. Here she is, folks, the last of them, Nezuko Kamado, Tanjiro's little sister who becomes a demon and starts Tanjiro on his journey to find a cure for his sister, and in turn becomes a demon hunter that just right now has been an amazing journey in the anime. If you've already read the manga is over. You know what happened. You know all the stuff. So we won't do too much spoilery things here. But the only spoilery thing I'll say is Nezuko is a cutie pie. So here she is right here. Beautiful little figure from Bandai here. And so as y'all know, I did the Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke video, which I'll put a link to down below. And then I also just did the Tengen and the Rengoku. So this is the last of the second round of these figures to come out. Got it off of Amazon. $16.99 plus tax-free shipping. But you can find it at your local retailers. But here is that box. It looks great. The artwork is phenomenal. But there is Nezuko on the front. Here it has some words on the side. There is Nezuko again on the back and more words. But as you know, they have that artwork on the inside that I can't wait for us to take a look at. So let's get Nezuko out of the box, shall we? And here she is out of the box onto my table, and she is a tiny cutie. She looks precious. Nezuko! I must protect Nezuko no matter what. So here she is. Looks really, really good. Of the Bandai Ultimate Legends, I would say this is probably the second best looking one of the bunch right now as my first impression. Looks really nice. I love the impression on the face. Again, glossy, but doesn't really make that big a difference on this one. The eyes look great. Not really any bad paint job on this guy. I think it looks pretty phenomenal as you hear my dog clickety-clacketing in the back. Now, she didn't come with any other accessories, which is a boo. All the other ones came with like extra hands or a sword hilt. Tengen came with the most of the other ones. He came with the sheath for his blades, as well as his two hands on that. But most of the Bandai Ultimate Legends at least have a separate set of hands, but she only comes with her. So kind of feel a little gypped. Didn't get an extra pair of hands on here. So hopefully what we make up, what we have in lack of accessories, we make up for more in looks and posability. But from a size standpoint, she is about little tiny right here, and we'll get some figures to compare her to here as well, so you can see what she looks like. But she is a pretty, pretty little girl. There's that face right there. I think they did a really, really good job of that face. As you know, Nezuko is a demon, but she does not eat humans. She's been programmed to protect humans and kill demons. And so she's like an honorary demon hunter, pretty much. You get to see a lot of her in action in her blood demon art. And she's like recently, so spoilers, if you don't want spoilers, don't watch the rest. Don't watch the rest. So, spoilers. So recently in the Swordsmith Village arc, we find out she can conquer the sun. So demons typically had to stay in the evening. They were like vampires. They could not get out in the sun or it would burn them to death. But Nezuko was able to conquer the sun, and now Muzan is after her, because if Muzan can devour her, he will be able to conquer the sun, and then he will be unstoppable. And some of y'all maybe he's like, who's Muzan? He's Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson in the Demon Slayer world. I'll show you him here in a little bit. But there she is in the rotisserie view here. I mean, the hair looks good. Everything looks good. Her kimono all looks really, really great. I think they did a good job on this. Now, from a posability standpoint, you're probably not going to get a lot out of this just because of this outfit here. It's going to be very restrictive. But what you do get is her head does move. So you do get that. You can't really 360 it because, again, her little hair arm has the same posability as the rest of them, but again, you're going to be limited in your posing with her just because the hair is in the way. You do have the 90-degree bend on the elbow. We can get that. There we go. You do have the wrist does bend and turn, so you can do some really cool gnarly things there. She does have a bend on the knees, a twist at the thigh right here. But as far as doing the Jean-Claude, you're not going to be able to do it with the skirt that she's in. You can kind of pull it apart a little bit here to kind of maybe get the leg kind of sticking out, but yeah, it's going to be kind of difficult. You do get a little bit of a ab crunch here, and you do get a little twist too as well, but not much here for Nezuko, just because she's got lots of hair. That's sad because it'd be great to get her in some really, really cool poses and things like that. But overall, I mean, so far she feels really good in the hands. She looks good. So from a look standpoint, I think she's up there with Tengen of the Bandai Ultimates figures. The worst looking one, of course, is Rengoku. But we'll see from a playability standpoint and things like that too as well. So let's get some other figures. Let's compare her so we can see her from a size comparison with some other figures. So let's compare Nezuko. So to the right, we have the 7-inch McFarlane Nezuko, and to the left, we have the 5-inch McFarlane Nezuko. From a looks standpoint, the McFarlane figures win, I think. You know, especially I love the innocent looking eyes of this Nezuko here, but the less shiny face, I think, works out great. There's a bit more detail in the figure, but of course, $16.99 versus $24.99 for these figures. Now, this is the Nezuko with her blood art right here. So exploding blood is what she can do. But still, this is not a bad representation of Nezuko by any means. I mean, I do like, again, how she looks. Everything looks really similar, but I think the faces in the McFarlane one it does it a bit more justice on these. But $9.99, $16.99, $24.99. So that's what the price points are. So $16.99, it's not a bad figure, right? Let's pull in a few other figures here. So we'll move that Nezuko to the side. We'll move this Nezuko to the side. Show you another 5-inch, like I was telling you. Here's Muzan Kibutsuji. I don't know how you pronounce his last name, but yeah, Michael Jackson, so to speak. And then, of course, we have a 7-inch Rengoku right here. Barely see him because he's just like out of frame there. There's Rengoku. And a couple other figures we'll bring in here. Let's bring in the 3.75 Ahsoka and a 6-inch Black Series figure there. So that way you kind of get a smattering of what different figures on how she scales with everything on this. But that's what she looks like here. So let's see how she looks like with her Bandai Ultimate Legends counterparts. So here is Nezuko with the rest of the Bandai Ultimate Legends figures. So the first round was Tanjiro, we had Inosuke, we had Zenitsu, which I wish I had his sword sheath can come out right there so I can put Anyway, and then of course we had Tengen and Rengoku, and then of course a little Nezuko. So how would I rank these going from first to last? And so I would definitely say Tengen would be first. I would give Nezuko number 2. I like her. I think she looks good. I would give Zenitsu number 3. Number 4 goes to Inosuke. Number 5 would go to Tanjiro, and number 6 would go to Rengoku, from first to last there in my order of judgment. But there you can see how they all scale amongst each other. I hope they release more. I hope they release some of the Upper Moon Demons. I hope they also release some more of the Hashira. I also hope they release like Genya and some of the other supporting characters, maybe even Shinobu, or some of the Demon Slayer Corps or the Swordsmith Village people, like Haganesku. So anyway, but let's get back together and let's talk through, is Nezuko worth it? Should you pick her up, or should you stay with a different Nezuko figure? Well, let's talk about Nezuko. My final thoughts on her and the last of my Bandai Ultimate Legends Demon Slayer figures. And there she is, Nezuko-chan. She is a cutie. She's gorgeous. From a look standpoint, she looks great. She's my second favorite of the Bandai Ultimate Legends on that, with Tengen being my first. Pros, just a really good look. The paint is done really well, and for $16.99, it's a cheap figure that has more posability than some Star Wars figures. But let's speak about that posability. This is some of the cons. Doesn't quite have the posability like the other figures do because of the restrictions of the skirts and her hair. It kind of restricts those movements. I was trying to do some more poses with it, but I was afraid I was going to break it, so I just didn't want to break it. I didn't want to risk it, so that's why you only see a few poses that I have of her after this is all going. That's my one biggest con. The second biggest con that I have for this is there's not any extra hands. Extra hands would be cool. It came with the other ones. I felt like, I'm paying $16.99 and I'm missing $1.99 worth of hands. So I would love some extra hands, maybe just straight, nice, pretty hands or fists, whatever it may be. But would love to have that. Other than that, this is a really good figure. I think for $16.99, you can't do any worse. But if you want a really good animation accurate one that gives you the most bang for your buck, I would go with McFarlane on that. $24.99 for the 7-inch, $9.99 for the 5-inch. 5-inch doesn't have much posability, but they look really, really, really good. But if you want a really, really nice one, I hear the Figma one is really good. I don't have it. Love to get it, but don't have it right yet. But this one, on a scale of good, bad, awesome, she is pretty awesome. I think she will look good in any collection. If you're collecting these Bandai Ultimate Legends, then you need to add her to your collection, especially if you've got Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. You've got to have the fourth in the band right there. So she is there with them. But that is all I got to say about Nezuko. And that's all for my Bandai Ultimate Legends Demon Slayer for right now, until they release more. So if you enjoyed that, please look at the other videos, consider becoming a member. Don't forget to like and subscribe. But in the meantime, y'all remember, stay young, have fun, and watch Demon Slayer, the Hashira training arc on Crunchyroll. Stay awesome. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.